Hello and welcome back to the spring split of LBLCS's Denny's No Reservations. This year, it's going to be a little bit different. Instead of more interview like of getting to know players and stuff, we will be. I have assembled three of the best captains in commercial league, and we are going to do power rankings of the teams, maybe the players, joke around, have some fun, and give the commercial league the content that they deserve. My name's Sammy Two Slap or NG Two Slap, as always, hosting this. I do have one returning face from the original things reservations of Genji. And Genji, do you have anything to say coming back into this?
No, I'm just glad that you invited me here, and we'll see. Obviously, I don't know many of the teams here, so we're just basing on stats to go for first week. But hopefully, as we go on, the takes get more real because they're a little cooked this week.
Oh, 100%. Then, just below me, I have an LBLCS veteran and creative team lead, Val, or Fuchsia, but everyone knows him as Val.
Yep. I'm excited to be here. I forgot multiple times to do the Denny's or reservations form last season, so this is like my way of like getting back, just be in every single episode this time.
Yeah, that's
Get into the
exactly what it
system.
is. I kind of held you at gunpoint this time, though, to be on here, so you, you had to be here.
Yep.
And then we have a newer player, I believe, Frog, in LBLCS, and
Newish.
newish.
Newish. 6 seasons is hard to call
Three.
new.
Has it been 6 seasons? I lost count.
Season first season was
I don't.
High
Yeah,
Alert, right? Season
yeah.
10.
Oh,
I don't think
okay,
I've played every single season after that, but definitely a
okay.
few of them. Or riding the bench
I
somewhere is usually
I apologize for that because I
no
didn't know it's
worries,
been that
no
long.
worries. New face here, happy to be here. Joining the Denny's crew. Excited to give my bad takes.
Everyone's got bad takes, so I I noticed one thing real quick. You have a dog in the background. What's the dog's
That
name?
is true. The dog is Loki. He's my German Shepherd. He'll probably be jumping up and down off the bed and being crazy in the background. Yep.
That's fair.
Unofficial
Love him.
mascot.
Yeah, on the,
Oh
we
yeah.
have we have two then because we have my beagle and we have his German Shepherd. So, and then if any other random
Hey,
animals pop
good
up
old
on
boy.
anyone else's screen. So, all right. So, yes, this is a blank page, but does anyone want to go first with their power rankings?
Well,
I'm down.
I was gonna
That'd
say,
be fun.
okay.
Could
You know
be
what?
fun.
We're gonna start with the Group A captains and let them rank Group B first. So,
Works for me.
Frog, we're gonna start with you. Let me
Okay.
just switch
Let
it
me
over.
pull up my sheet here.
I mean, are we gonna go through like he does all his eight, or do we want to kind of like jump back and forth on our because they're pretty
I
similar?
say jump
Yeah,
back and
like
forth.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, let
I
me.
think it's
that works.
I didn't look too much at the differences we had. Let's see. Our one is the same.
We have small differences. Like I think there's
Okay.
only a couple flipped.
Yeah, a few flipped around, so
Yeah.
we're pretty close. Um, sure, but go ahead and starting at the top here. I put Cancun on 3 as my top team of the season. Just an absolute crazy performance from Shifty, and it was really just a big old gap. In the top lane, with I guess it's YPSI or something like that.
Yipsy.
Black Eyed
Yipsy.
Peas like had some, I thought, Like they had some very good like draft picks and like still obviously played very well, but like really were probably the game drivers in that series. Like kind of with some more utility focused picks that really probably helped their team with the absolute beatdown they put in. Um, let's see, the bot lane, yeah, pretty much looked like they did their job. We'll be looking forward to the next couple weeks to see how they do. If it's just going to be shifty, just absolutely smashing whoever they're going up against, that'll be their win con and game plan the entire season. I'd say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So seems to be working out so far. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say I'd totally agree with you. So this is the one team in commercial I'm actually familiar with because I played Cancun on 3 last split in Tax Haven, and so personally I played against Crow mid. Crow just dumps damage all time, all game. Obviously, we saw Shifty posting ridiculous numbers up top. One thing am interested is I believe Brother Hedge switched from jungle to ADC this split, so just seeing that kind of transition and seeing what changes there. But yeah, this team just strong across the board. I think they 2-0'd yesterday as well because I was watching that hoping it didn't ruin my power rankings before we got into reviewing and uh, everything. But yeah, I think the top lane and the jungle and like solo lanes in general is dominated. Bot was along for the ride. We'll have to see if that changes or if somebody can step up and stop Shifty.
I will say, I personally played with Black Eyed Peas a couple seasons ago in Titan, and he is a really good jungler. So he he will be one of the more dominant junglers to watch out for in commercial Group B because he you think he's at one side of the map and then he randomly shows up on the other side and scares you because
With the surprise attack.
yes.
Uh, they also have a very balanced damage profile too, where you look at the stats, which is always a good thing to see for top teams that they're not too lopsided one way or the other. So there's no real point to attack them at.
Okay.
And that's why I think they're the number one in this group is they're just top to bottom very complete team.
Looked like a really solid series. No weak points from what I saw. Obviously, bot lane, we'll see how that pans out the rest of the season. Probably the only ones who didn't get to showcase an extreme level of carry potential so far. So looking forward to seeing them.
All right. Genji, since we're here, go ahead with your number two.
Okay, so this is where we split a little bit. I put the NG Gremlins at number two. It was right after I did mine right after we saw the NG Civil War, and it was a back and forth 2-0 series that was a lot closer than maybe the scoreline looked. But the things that stood out was maybe they don't have as impressive of laning, but when it came down to the team fighting, they all grouped up. They made good decisions. They were in it together, and Cookie just was putting out damage and they were protected. The Cookie was just taking control of those team fights late game, and they were putting the wood to them. The one thing I will say is that the lanes did look a little shaky early, where they could get exploited. But when it got down to the time, if you don't have a big lead, they're gonna show up and throw hands.
Yeah, definitely. I was in the cheating club as well as I was watching the series on the broadcast, and waiting to perform my final swap between the NGs. But yeah, that was kind of similar view that I got, where there was a little bit of struggles in the early game, but it looked like they really played the team fights together very well. It seemed like they were pretty familiar with how they wanted to play, and they played well together. Definitely saw good performance from, let's see, the bot lane. Who's on their bot lane? Is it Cookie and
I
Denny?
actually played this week.
Yeah, they've
Wow.
run two supports.
Okay.
The
But yeah,
support
you guys
had
crushed it.
date night he forgot about, and I had to
The
fill in.
one game that I was really impressed was the Ash game. I think that was maybe game
Yes.
two. But yeah, it was like that game super down early, and then one team fight around, I don't know, some topside objective, either Rift or Baron, and Ash just was absolutely pumping. You guys were flying around, making plays, feeling like crazy. It's fun to watch. So yeah, I personally had them at 3, but I think that they are easily, this 1 through 4 slot is pretty interchangeable in my list. So I'll be looking forward to the next few weeks to seeing some of the results coming out of the Group B showdown.
And then we have your number 2, Frog.
Yeah, I had the Aces at number 2. Let's see. Which honestly, for Vayne top, probably should have been, number 3 or 4. But, the results, I guess, speak for themselves for now. But the dumb idiots kind of had 2 crazy 1v9 jungle games. I guess not 1v9. Turtwig damage graphs, looking at that game,
Yeah.
the LBLCS tool, they were pretty insane. But definitely the 7 solo kills in the top side, not to be written off. Although, like I said, -1, Vayne top, don't let it happen again. Yeah, that one again, bot lane, looking to see that consistency. They had a crazy game on the Syndra bot, but the other game, I forget what they played, but it didn't look quite as commanding. So maybe some question marks there, and something that other teams can look to exploit. And now that maybe the surprise is up on some of those AP carries down bot, people will be expecting that. But I still think they're a very strong team, and if God like Turtwig is gonna solo kill your top laner 7 times in a series, probably not gonna be much you can do against that. So
Yeah, like off the bat, same thing is I had to go double check the numbers because I was like, the damage numbers just like Turtwig and the whole team. They hit 3 people above 800, that not counting Turtwig, of damage per minute. So that just tells me that this series was just throwing hands the entire time across the map, just nonstop. I won't spend too much time with the Vayne top and all the other things. The reason I did drop them down to 3 in my rankings is looking at the stats, looking at everything. It just looks like they're gonna coin flip some games by fighting. The aggression, fighting, which is not a bad thing, but they might lose some games just by a dumb tower dive, over aggressing an objective, something. And that's great to watch, but it will lose you a game or two here or there. So we'll see that. I think they might go over aggressive at times. But the other thing was what the AP bots are good, always a good thing to have and fall back to, where you can get that more aggressive, like maybe go Yone or something mid, where you can be aggressive and put that scaling down bot and have more fun. So yeah, that's the only reason I moved them down, was because of the uh, over aggression. I think will bite them eventually, but I hope one of these matches gets streamed eventually because they just seem like a fun team to watch.
But before we move on to your number 4, Genji, Val is part of PC Aces. I want to ask, what was with the Vayne top?
So this is a great instance. So a pretty draft culture on my team is a lot of silence up until like the last 5 seconds, especially for our top laner, who's notorious for this thing. But this was one of the first times ever where we saw them lock Ornn. They locked Ornn first pick, and immediately he was like, "I want Vayne. I want Vayne right now." And it was on me, and the rest of the team was like, "Are you sure?" For like the next 20 seconds. And we finally gave it to him. So that was B1 Ornn, R1 Vayne, and then the rest of the draft was normal after that. And it turned out well post game, but he did start this game like 1-3. Or like 1-2 or something.
Oh no!
It was not pretty to start. let that be known.
All right.
Top laner, though. He's a great guy.
It is known that Vayne R1 might not be the pick, but it works out in the end.
I mean, it was technically a flex. Nobody believed it, but it was technically a flex.
I don't even, the enemy team knew it wasn't a flex. They still banned 80. They banned ADCs in the phase 2 bans. They knew.
Yeah, that was
But
them desperately trying to get you to send it bot so that they wouldn't have to play it. They were trying to give you an out.
yeah, I definitely give him more credit in the game one. I think that was a game that was tough for a long time, but
Okay.
his Kled was integral in getting us back into that one. Um, and that was also a great game from him. But yeah, definitely one of the players all time I've got in my top lane. Love him to death.
All right.
If it works, it works. We'll just all hate you, but it's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, I'll redirect that towards him.
Okay, that
Orn
works.
for the rest of the season.
All right.
Orn for the rest of this. All right, Genji. Let's.
Yeah, for number 4, I think we both had NG Waves in motion here. I think we both said we were watching the game, and this was kind of interchangeable, where it was like which NG team is going to win it and get put above in the power rankings. They're both 1-0 going into week 2. One thing I will say is their solo lanes are doing a ton of heavy lifting, 56% damage share, and it just kind of feels like in the team fights they're getting good leads in lanes, and then they go to these team fights and their jungle and bot lane are just kind of disappearing. Where I want to see them push the advantage, push their leads, and just team fight a little bit cleaner, and maybe they would have come out on top of that series.
Yeah, absolutely. Looked like they had games in the early game, played the early lanes well, and just it fell apart around those later game team fights. So that can, I don't know how long this group has been playing together, but week 1, good time to kind of gauge how you want to play as a team, get some of that team fighting chemistry built up. So definitely think that if they you know, fix how to fight together, should be no problem going forward in the next few weeks.
Oh, and then before we move on, shout out to Gabe's champ pool. This is going to be an entertaining thing throughout the year. You always love to see the exotic mids. I think we both had that in our summaries.
Yep.
All right, Frog. Number 5.
Let's see. Number 5, I have the Needlessly Large Rods. So, well-known team, long-standing team. Dave and the Rods. Close week 1 matchup to the Gremlins. Definitely series looked close. Seems like that team has a well-defined plan. Is probably going to stick to that plan. That they're going to draft Dave and draft John some scaling mid bots and play for them and try to team fight around them. And it was close to working. Think, without having watched the games, the score lines themselves looked like it wasn't a stomp either way. So I'd say probably just some team fight, mistakes probably decided that series. I think this team is definitely dangerous. I know Dave has been around and playing forever, and seems like their mid lane is pretty solid as well and capable of carrying games. So I'd say those are the two players to look out for on that roster, and if they can get going, and not fall too far behind in their early games when they draft themselves a great scaling comp, they're gonna be trouble if you don't deal with them early.
Yeah, no, I was right there with you. I did move them down to 6 because I think they have a very set strategy. They want to scale. They want to play a very front to back comp with 2 back carries, and but my thing was like they had low damage per minute numbers. They just didn't look like they were fighting very much, which lack of productivity on the map. They weren't necessarily giving up all objectives, but just from the stats wise, it looked like they probably were giving up anything that was contested. And they were just scaling. They're like, we're going to cross map. We're not going to fight you. And on some of these more aggressive teams, like they're going to take advantage of that. They're just going to take it to you. Where sometimes you need that killer instinct to just snap and say we need to go. And that's why I dropped them down to 6, is because until you see that, you scale to win only goes so long and is easily to abuse in draft and in game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who did you have at 5, Genji?
So at 5, I actually had Cloud 9 to 5, which I believe they took the two. They lost to Cancun, so they are 0-2 right now. But they did play my like two of the top teams, so it's kind of rough for them. Where they played Aces and Cancun on 3 back to back to start the season. They they look like they kind of hung around with you guys early. I like I said, I didn't watch the game, so I can't tell you for sure. But they were just looked like they had high damage across the board, so they're fighting back, and just weren't translating to kills. And they had to play against a Vayne top, so that's obviously unfair for them. So I didn't want to put hate on them too much for not being able to overcome the cheese of like AP carries bot and Vayne top.
Mhm. Yeah. The
100%.
game one was we were down for a large part of that game. And it was just a
Yeah.
matter of like we had Kled versus Mundo on a side lane, and it was just playing off of that
Okay.
and able to kind of find these like wild 4v4s and edging out those fights that slowly turned into like the tides turning. So I was like, I really thought they actually came out super strong against us, and it was just a wild 50-minute barn burner. And then they had to play Cancun on 3, who I think is a really scary team as well.
Yep.
All right. And
Yeah.
Frog, I assume you had Cloud9 to 5 at 6.
Yeah, that was let's see. Yeah, they were my number 6. It looked like that week 1 matchup, and scheduling gods not really doing them any favors on their start to the season here. But yeah, the week 1 matchup uh against the Aces, definitely I'm looking at the game game score now. Let's see. Yeah, some hope out of Captain Clutch here. Probably look
Mm-hmm.
to him on that team, and then also a decent showing in that game 1 from Soldigs on the Ezreal. Really solid game from him. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, game 2 looks like it was a bit more of a stomp. Um, Not a whole lot going on around the map. Tokyo True Vengers, 2 solid
Yeah.
jungle games. Probably some hope there too. Piloting the Zinzao and Ambessa, playing that bruiser style. So definitely, if those picks work for them, that's easy to
Mm-hmm.
play around. Power jungle, get some consistency down bot. Get that same game 1 performance, and this team should be able to, you know, do well going down the stretch here. Because having Panther Core Aces and Cancun on 3 as your 1 and 2 weeks, I mean, it can't get any worse than that. So I think they'll probably be
Yeah.
in a fine spot and end up rising through our lists here as the season goes
Mm-hmm.
on.
I think so, absolutely.
I, I will say they could win every game just because they have a Riot employee on their team.
Yeah,
So
I mean that
Let me
gutsy
let me
bat.
adjust that. Let me adjust that power ranking.
yeah, you're getting banned now,
Yeah,
Gingy.
And plus 2.
I think yeah, Gutsy Bat worked on 2xKO
Yes, he
mainly
did.
as well. Yeah. It
That's why
was
he
a
wasn't on their team last split. He was too busy working on that.
oh, that's
So
actually sick. I know,
he
yeah, because I
he's
saw
back on
in
as a
their
sub this split.
yeah, their performance their first season in economy, Gutsy Bat was a terrifying mid laner.
Yes,
So
he was.
gotta have the eyes out on that if they roll back into the lineup for any reason. I'm excited to see that.
All right, let's go ahead and finish up. Frog on your power
Let's
rankings for
see.
7
I
and 8.
got Team 4 Fishnets in my 7 spot. Going against NG Waves in Motion, week 1. Let me see their games. Strong showing from Justice Stove, looks like. Had 2 pretty solid games. Pizonsky also, second game was super playable. Game 1 looks like nothing really could get going for them. Only person was Justice Stove. I think that shows pretty accurately in the player stats as well as I'm looking through here. Um, so yeah, gonna be having to look for a bounce back week 2 performance. Let's see who are they playing. Uh, Week 2 fishnets. They're playing the Rods, so I mean this would be a
Yeah.
good litmus test for this team
Mhm.
because this is a team where I'd say they're probably both coming off a week 1 loss. This the week to get yourself rolling in the right direction.
Yep.
So I'd say that's a
Get
big
that
series
rebound.
for those two teams there. It's going to be one to watch for sure. Um, yeah, find a way to help out Justice Stove. He had two solid performances in a overall pretty bleak series. So if some of the other players can step up to the bat, get him some help, see where this team can go.
Yep.
Agree with
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say I had them at 8 on mine, but that was literally because 7 and 8 just was kind of a coin flip, and I went with who had the tougher opponent in my actual rankings. So that's why I put Fishnets below them right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, Justice Stove was the one bright spot it looked like. But the other thing is they get a needlessly raw matchup where one of them can definitely make a stamp and show, hey, week 1 was just a fluke. I mean, it's the first week. You might not have your stuff together. You might not know your comps. Like, how much is everybody scrimmed? It gets all thrown out the window. So both of them got a chance to rebound here, which I like because uh, the last team on our list, I put One Tail seventh because they were above or because they played Cancun on 3. They get the Cloud 9 to 5 in opposite, where they get to go against Panther Core Aces in week 2, and so they get to go through the gauntlet and like get the hardest teams out we think ahead of time. But then I did see that I'd like to throw a shout out to their support, Aloe Kabim.
Yeah, I think it's Aloe Cuban. I have no idea,
Aloe
man.
Kabim. Top five vision score in the loss against Cancun on 5 or Cancun on 3. Gosh, Cancun on 3, which is impressive that if you're losing and still able to get that vision down,
Yeah,
that's going
vision
to
down
translate.
is impressive.
When you're
Yeah.
when you're winning, you're going to put even more vision and be able to set up your team for more success. Is one thing I
Yeah.
saw there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Remember when I said like it couldn't get any worse? Consulting the schedule sheet, it's sorry for for our
Yeah,
boys
some of these
here.
teams have
Team
some of
One
these
Tail,
teams have
you're in
tough
for
schedules.
tough schedule in the beginning, but you get through week 2 and you're probably on a upward trajectory from there. But yeah, week 1 really really rough. Top side was absolute nightmare both games. See Doki Pugga kind of pulling out some of those bruisery picks with the Zinzao into the Sejuani, so have some skirmish champs around that. Pick some strong solo lanes. We had the Investa Syndra game 2. Let's see, we had it's the first one, Oriana Casante. So drafting teams to fight. So hopefully they can get some team fight synergy going after that week 1. Light the fires in the kiln and get it rolling.
Also, before we move on, they have NG Gremlins week 3.
Yeah,
I'm
they have.
so sorry. Yeah.
That's what I was about to point out. That is
What is
a
that draw? What is
The
that draw for them?
nightmare
that is a
rotation.
nightmare
Holy.
rotation.
Oh
I
man.
would not wish that on my worst enemy.
That's just
But
bad luck.
honestly, I think another thing about One Tail, and this is, I'll do my little historian bit here, for this team. Zen Money, their top laner, has had some absolutely disgusting seasons individually in the past. So I feel like once we roll out, I think once we get into that like second, third leg of the season, I actually think Zen Money is gonna pop out and be like a genuine scary, scary opponent. Um, for some of these teams as the season goes on. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. That week 1 matchup with Shifty, probably lots of fighting, consulting the damage graphs. It's like they were brawling it out. So
Yeah. And you trade Shifty to who's your top laner to Godlike Turtwig week 2. So now you know
I
it's gonna be a good matchup
imagine
week
there will
2.
be some more
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah. Back to back weeks of just throwing hands. No prio, no CSing, no tower damage, just kills and deaths, man.
Doki
Why you guys
Pugga,
got
if you're watching this, pass top, buddy. Pass
Hats off.
top.
We'll
There will
console.
be
We'll
fighting.
reconvene. We'll reconvene on week 3. Um, yeah, this will be fun.
Oh shoot. Um, I guess closing thoughts on Group B is just there's a lot like it's week one, a lot can change, so everybody can move around these rankings by next time we meet. So
Yep.
I mean, if you want to prove us
Absolutely.
wrong and make us look fun, make us look silly, then
I would love
just go
that.
out there and prove it.
It doesn't take
Yeah.
much. So
It doesn't take much. Yeah.
so please prove us
Any of
wrong.
those bottom four teams win next week, we look stupid, and
Yeah.
that's the best part.
That is the best
Yep.
part. Can't wait. Can't wait.
That's the best part about it. That's all for Group B, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Sammy, I think it's our time. Oh, I think Sammy's muted.
He's
Think you're
muted.
muted,
He's
Sammy.
he's definitely
Sammy
muted.
Oh no, I'm muted. Yeah.
First victim.
This is beautiful.
First victim of the
First
season.
victim. I'll get hit by this multiple times.
I'm gonna
these
alt
days, don't worry.
F4. So-
I'm guilty of this as well.
Well, now we're on Group A. Val, who did you have in the number one spot?
I think we had the same team. I think we both had
We
forgot
did.
to buy. Yeah, forgot to buy in the first slot. And for me, it was just I saw a team that came. I have their opponent ranked pretty highly, the Musketeers Vanguard, and they came in and had a pretty clean win over T5M Vanguard. You pair that with the fact that I think it's an entire starting lineup is returning from last season, and then they went 4-4 in a really tough division. I
Yeah.
think it's just super easy to kind of say, look at that. They came out swinging week one. They've got this energy. They're definitely hungry. I think it's easy to place them right at number one, because I think they're going to come back with a vengeance. I think they're really excited to go out this season.
Oh, 100%. I think T5M, they have a lot of known names too, with Drox, Brio, the Myfool. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
God Alive. That's already a stacked roster as it is.
Yep.
And you come out swinging 2-0 against them. Either T5M didn't come to play week one, or they just were like, we're going to take this division by storm. And they pretty much did. They had two people, their bot lane, Pineapple and Snapper Flapper were both in the top 10 for overall stats. When you look at that on paper, your bot lane succeeding and you have a third person just outside the top 10. You have a pretty decent group yourself, and you're not
Yeah,
going
you
to
see
fight with them.
131 on Snapper Flapper's player rating.
Yeah.
What
High
can
number.
you do about that?
High number.
131, where the next closest is 111. That is
20 points above
quite the
the next guy.
performance.
Yeah,
So yeah, you've got to just kind of take a step back and be like, we get it. All right, we are very
Bow
understanding.
down.
Right? Like, okay.
and then I think we both had the same number 2 seed also with
We did.
Team Amphibians, which is Frog Guy's team.
Yeah.
Who
I was impressed with their week one. I may have forgotten who you guys played against.
Color League dudes.
Cuddly League dudes, yeah. And I thought that series was very, very impressive. And to me, it was like, this is a great series. And I feel like I was expecting it. Because I didn't, until I read Sammy's summary, I didn't realize that all of you had played on backflip or front flip last season. I think most of the players. Because the first thing my brain went to was, this is like 3 members from the winning high alert roster who had a run. And I feel like it's just picking up where you left off, right? I thought Frog and Solar Spins had really good series, and Zax is coming off of the championship and just looked extremely solid in his first game back in LBLCS. It just felt like he picked a lot of it was picking up where you left off. And I'm
Oh,
really excited to see how the rest of the season looks.
100%. I didn't know it was 3 people from the high alert roster. So
Mm-hmm.
I but I knew 4 of these 9 players were on backflip and front flip, who both had amazing seasons last season. And I was I was expecting a lot coming from this team already, and them knocking out Cut of the League dudes just shows that they came ready to play also, just like Forgot to Buy did. And
Yep.
now that I know they have more championship caliber on their team, I might move them to number 1, but we have to we have to wait and see how they do next week
Gotta see how
against
they do.
the
Gotta earn it,
Mimics.
baby.
Gotta earn
Gotta
it.
earn it. Gotta earn it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if I had a nickel, both the kind of the players coming over from front flip and kind of the core Forgot to Buy, both missed playoffs, and what once again I think was a crazy commercial A, um, last season. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they're all kind of there's gonna be this vibe of like just true unadulterated hunger coming out from all these guys this season. Very happy I'm not in their group.
Same. But I'll go ahead with your number 3. I got just let the dogs
Yeah.
out real quick. They're whining.
Yep. My number 3 is different from Sammy's number 3. I've got Naughty Dogs. And just because one Naughty Dog has a lot of they're a constant commercial kind of team, right? They this is where they play. Linoleum, Overheated, Mongoose will be the names I think a lot of people will recognize from last season. But Misty and Y2 Jericho, the name Y2 Jericho, I think every LBLCS player should know who Y2 Jericho is. And technically, by proxy, everybody does because everybody knows what a hunk is. Y2 Jericho was the first ever player to get called a hunk. I think that was season 6 or 7's economy playoffs. Um, was a absolutely ridiculous series where Y2 Jericho was damn near Finals MVP in a loss. And I think they came out this season and had a really, really good performance against the Mimics. I really liked Misty's play against Ball Slap, while Jericho and Linoleum looked unstoppable in the bot lane, which I think is a good sign. Overheated and Mongoose had up and down games. You know, I think they um, looked really good in the wins, and they didn't look as good in the losses. But that's kind of what you expect. It's just that's kind of be the place you can watch going forward. I'm personally excited for them. I'm kind of curious what your all's thoughts on playing kind of those teams like Forgot to Buy and Naughty Dogs, though.
I'm back.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll find out Sunday. We play
Oh.
Forgot to Buy. I don't want to leak.
Nice.
I don't want to leak too much because I know. I don't know when this is gonna get posted. So, but we got a strategy going in.
Hopefully
We
soon
got
after.
dogs.
Hopefully it gets posted as
Yeah.
soon as shortly after we're done.
Okay, yeah. So
Crossed,
I don't
yeah.
want to leak anything, but hopefully we can take down number 1. But we'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
I personally had Cream Liqueur, which is Genzi's team, at 3. I just feel with the bottling of Soul and Girao, however you pronounce it.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
the stat sheet tells the story.
the stat sheet.
That's a stat. I opened that thing. I looked at Soul's stat line. I was like,
Yeah, I'll be looking
Like-
forward to the cream liqueur week because I think that'll be hopefully a competitive bot lane showing.
yeah.
I'll be excited. Seems like some
Complete
strong
side
opposition.
tangent.
And then
Side tangent. The bot lanes in commercial A have to be the most ridiculous lineup of names I've seen in my entire life. Because it just doesn't stop.
no, it
Between
doesn't.
You have Snapper on Forgot to Buy. Amphibians has Frog Eye and Kiale. Dogs has Jericho and Linoleum. The Cure has Soul and Gear Out. You think it's over. Thrama had a great week 1 in a loss.
With
5
Skiwi.
Musketeers. Yeah, with Squeewee. Musketeers has Drox and Mighty. I felt that Winter Learn's bot lane Gumption has ran. We'll get to Winter Learn, but Gumption has ran the gauntlet for the first 2 weeks of this season.
Yes, he
Let me
is.
say that much. But yeah, this is. I think it's a crazy. And then you have Loki Aurora on Cuddly League News. It's such a wild bot lane season. But yeah,
It-
back to Cream Liqueur and that.
Yeah, I just think Creamy Cured. I mean, from what I see on their roster, it's a lot of mix of a couple different milk teams, and I guess that's how they're treating this season. Is they're gonna play drunk with cream liquor, and
Yes, we are.
and have fun while
s-
doing it. So
Side note: I put an entire bottle of Crown Royal down, Series 1.
are you serious?
I'm not joking.
That's devious work.
Okay.
Game 3 was something to
Game 3 was a
behold
movie?
in comms.
I bet it was.
Edged it out still though. Yeah, I mean, I have Cream Liqueur in my 4th spot, but I once again very much felt like 3 and 4 were interchangeable. You have the mid jungle from Spoiled Milk. You've got 2% support, and then you've got a couple new faces mixed in there. I also noticed I played a season with Khazadum not many seasons ago, but I see that the role swap has happened in the mid jungle as well.
Andro
Oh.
switched to support. He was AD carry.
Yeah. Yes, that's that's the other thing I
Yeah.
was thinking. So I think a lot of swapping around, but I think it looked great to honestly, and in that first series to kick it off. So I think it is going to be a fun season to be a Milk fan. Is my read on this.
Yeah, and like you said, I had the dogs at 4, and it was mainly just because of the stats that threw me up, pushed Cream Liqueur up above the dogs. Because
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of good names on dogs, and I know they're gonna fight and claw their way through commercial A.
Mhm.
I mean, we know the season Linoleum had last season with OML, where they didn't win a single game. Sorry, Linoleum, if you're watching this.
He's back with the vengeance though.
Yes, he brought Jericho over with him.
Last season, Prime in the slingshot. This season, they're letting it fly.
For
Right,
100%.
exactly.
And then now we have Val's number 5 pick, which is another change between us. So
Yeah, it's like I think we don't agree on this either. I have NG Mimics. I thought they had a pretty good week 1. I mean, obviously they didn't win, but I thought they had a great series. From I think Angel came in had Angel came in for game 1, was out for game 2 and 3. But that entered Ball Slap, who I think had a great series. I think him and Thrama were kind of the shining spots in that series. They took a game and I feel like could have taken this series. I think if you
100%.
rematch that series, if you rematch that series 100 times, you're splitting it 50-50 down the middle. And I think that's a shine to look forward in the season. I love a team that can properly utilize subs, regardless of what position they're at. And I think Thrama, Ball Slap, and Squeeby also coming back as an LBLCS veteran. I'm super excited. So if I'm the Mimics, I'm holding my head high because I don't think that was that bad of a loss. I think they're going to be right back at it next week.
100. Well, I hate to tell you this, Val, but Ball Slap and Angel are both out this week.
I love a team that'll utilize their subs. I guess they're gonna have to.
Well, Angel's going on a weekend vacation, and Ball Slap's in Japan for 3 weeks.
Ooh,
so he went there for his birthday. So
hell yeah! Happy birthday to Ball Slap.
Happy birthday to Ball Slap.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Who's in Japan right now, and he's not gonna be there to help them for the first couple weeks, which is another contributing factor that I knew which wasn't really fair for me, but that's why I put them below the Five Musketeers
That's
because
some insider knowledge. Go
that
ahead.
was insider knowledge.
Insider knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think with Drox and Mighty Fool and God Alive for the Five Musketeers, they're just a stronger team overall. I know they'll have a lot more fun too. And I don't think they're going to do this crazy lane swapping stuff like how the admins usually play. I think they're going to stick to their roles and actually try to dominate this season. Even though their week 1 game didn't go the way they wanted it to, their week 2 game looked great. So I think they figured out how they're going to play and they're going to start coming through Group A teams and show them why they're the Musketeers.
Yeah,
I
that team
feel
definitely has the firepower to climb these rankings fast. I've played with God Alive in some draft leagues, and he's super solid top lane. I think he's got an infinite pool of great picks, and definitely Drox, Mighty Fool, bot lane. You know, you're gonna see
Yeah.
success down bot as well. So, very scary team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically kind of my read on Five Musketeers Vanguard as well. I thought they had not the greatest week 1, but I also feel like Forgot to Buy is going to be a team we're going to consistently rank high, so I didn't want to hit them too hard for that. And then week 2 they came in and had a pretty. I thought it was a full team effort series, right? Top side had a ridiculous game 1. Bot side had a ridiculous game 2. They ended up with a 2-0. I think it's just going to see, can they consistently put that together against the top teams in the group? Is it going to be a lot closer? Or is it going to be maybe they end up in kind of a gatekeeper spot where they're always going to beat the teams that are worse than them, but they're not going to be able to do so against the teams that are better than them? I think that's going to be really interesting. And to me, the X factor here is Brihio, who I think is traditionally a mid laner, but has kind of slid into the jungle this season. And I played with him in the LBLCS draft tournament. Amazing vibes, absolute shot caller. I am really excited to see how he performs because I think that is someone who I'd love to have in the jungle for me. So I'm curious on how it'll go. I'm excited as hell to see this team play. Even if I have them at 6, I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think me and Sammy have the same 7 and 8 as well.
It looks like you're up
Oh.
again because he's
Okay,
MIA again. Yeah,
I
you're
Yeah.
up again.
No, I just went and let the dogs back in. So I was hoping he would go straight into 7.
Back to you, pal.
I did. I didn't. I forgot to check. I was like, I should have checked if Sammy was there.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
can.
the
I can
one.
continue into Win and Learn. The big takeaway I had for Win and Learn. One, I love their energy. Right. I think one of the things they put is like obviously they had a tough series. I think they had a tough week 2 series, lost against Vanguard, and the first thing they were like, well, we're learning again this week, right? And I think that's just, to me, I love that energy. I love that vibe, and I'm already rooting for them. And on paper, I feel like they faced 2 of the toughest teams you could have asked them to face, and I don't think they looked as bad as you would think a team at 7 would look in both of those games. In my head, the first thing, obviously, 3 games against Cream Liqueur is nothing to sniff at. And I think even though they did go 0-2 versus Vanguard, I thought that their top side has looked really solid in all of their games. And I think Gumption has been someone who I'm like, you are David versus Goliath in a lot of these matchups this season, just because of name recognition, how players are performing. But I do think Gumption has had some solid series so far, and I don't think that's going to stop. It's just unfortunately, it's just gonna be non-stop in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Gumption.
With Group A bot lanes, it is not going to be fun for the bottom tier teams on this division because you have so many good options in bot lane. So it's going to be fun to watch and see how teams play around them.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to Cully League dudes at the end on both of our lists. Val, what made you put them there?
Love Cuddly League dudes. Love Cuddly League guys. Yeah, in my write up, it's CLG, CLD. It has a lot of notable names. You'll see Bakuda Beast, Loki. Is what a lot of people's eyes are gonna jump out to, and they had a tough week one, objectively, right? You can't shy away from that too much. I think but they also faced one of our top teams, and I thought their game two looked really good. I thought Bakuda and Loki had a much better game too. And to me, that's a sign that they're going to be able to fight. I think it's just going to take a bit of an adjustment period. But once they get that, I think they're going to be ready to take on just about anybody. So I'm not really worried about how the team's going to perform in the long term. I think they're going to have a fine time. I think they're going to fight towards kind of being one of those playoff teams and give a bunch of teams a jump scare later into the season if they're not already in the picture.
100% agree with you on that because with Bakuda and Loki, that second game, it looked like they played their hearts out to try to take down the amphibians, but the amphibians just kept pouncing on them and just did not let up at all. Even though Bakuda and Loki tried their hardest, I think.
No, that game was winnable for them. I think we had two really good drafts, and I think maybe the second game draft got a little cooked for them at the end. Some weirdness between their mid and like support wanting to pick. But like that game was for sure winnable, and I think they had an early game lead, or we had the early game lead and proceeded to kind of let that go. They were leading a little bit, and then we were able to hold it out and close it out in the end. But they had their chances in that game, and I think this team can definitely surprise them. Game one, definitely, rough. Probably first game of the season. Whatever stuff happens. That second game was a whole different team. So if they can bring out that game two team that we played against last week, they'll be able to take games off teams. No question in my mind about it. So
Yeah, I think with the experience Bakuda and Loki bring, they'll be able to get their team under control and on the same page so that way they can start taking games off of these teams ahead of them and start climbing through these rankings.
100%.
I was gonna say we scrimmed them last Friday, and if that's the worst team in A side on your guys, this is gonna be a banger season. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. Like I think it'll be a competitive season throughout, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the fact that there's only 4 of these teams are going to make Group A playoffs is what scares me. It's like, which 4 are going to take the top spots? And
yeah, I'm not excited at all. If my team makes playoffs, I'm not excited to get a matchup against one of you guys. I'm just not. I'm just really not. So I'm excited.
Oh, 100%. I'm not even really a player anymore. I'm just the manager and sub, and I did not want to draw any teams from this side of the bracket. Even though I know we won't have a choice in the match, but
it'll be based on record, but if you had to make me like pick out of a hat, and I felt for the record, I felt that way last season. We had a completely random run to the finals, and the entire way through, I was like, I don't think we're gonna beat this team. I don't think we're gonna beat this team. I don't think we're gonna beat this team.
And that's exactly how my team is right now. Just because we're the lowest pointed team in our group, and
are you guys actually?
we're 16.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, locked in.
And the fact that we just knocked off Waves, which is 22,
yeah,
it like shocked us at the same time, even with me playing because I'm a sub. So
That's because you guys had the Sammy buff. I don't know if that's gonna
no, that's not a
help
real
you out
thing.
there.
It's
Ooh,
actually a
shoot.
debuff for our team. So
That's a champion. That's a championship winning support.
Championship
Outside
winning
play.
support right
That's a
there.
championship winning. That's a two-time finalist support there, man. Come on.
This
yeah,
team
one time
punches
champion.
above their weight class, baby. 16
But
Yeah.
TPE says who?
all right.
Also, points can be deceiving. You can't always
Points are
get
super
too.
deceiver.
Oh,
Right, you can't
100%.
get it out into that.
That's why I love
And,
the
and that's
commercial.
why I try to tell my team this whole
Anybody
week.
can win in commercial. Anybody.
You just forget about the points.
Yeah, forget about the points.
I
Very.
well, the thing was they saw Gabe had hit diamond already,
Oh.
so they were like,
Well,
they were
yeah.
so
That was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, I feel
they
that.
just automatically. I feel like they automatically chalked it up to a loss. I'm like, guys, they're the rest of them aren't that good. Gabe is their problem child.
God damn! Damn!
Some heat.
Some heat on it, Sammy. God damn. Yeah,
I love
my
waves.
way of prepping this. True, they are an NG team. I guess that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, my way of prepping my team is by there was a we had a scrim. I'm gonna see how far I can get into this without naming any names. But we had a scrim before the season. Um, and I'm attentive. I'm attentive, but I'm not attentive enough, right? So obviously, if you're an LBLCS knower, there's a scrims
100%.
channel, and teams will put the elo range of their team usually
Oh,
in the scrim
Lord.
finding. And now this is a personal blunder on my end, right? I saw scrim. I get audit and tax haven mixed up pretty often, and these things are not the same. So I saw a scrim that said econ to audit elo range, which that's a big range, man.
That's a big range.
That is a big range.
But I'm like, well, we're within that range. Most teams are. So we took that scrim, and this is if I had a nickel for every time I accidentally got my team to scrim a team that had 3 emeralds on it, I'd have 2 nickels. My team is not happy about it. They're not a big fan of that. And the funniest part about that team is that they had 3 emeralds by the time we exchanged OP.GGs because they were trying out a top laner. And then they were like, hey, the top laner we're trying out can't make it. We're going to put in our starting top laner. And I was like, okay, well, it'll still probably be Emerald, Diamond 2.
Nice.
My godlike Turtug was not happy about that. That man, but he's been through the ringer. He's been through the ringer. I think he was elated to play another equal elo top laner this week. And I hope I can. I hope I don't have to. Don't make any more blunders like that. But
yeah, I made one blunder already this split with my team too, where we scrimmed High Alert Nightmares, which is in Tax Haven. But the thing was, like, they had Dingle Bailey instead of who we thought they were going to use as jungle. And having Dingle Bailey just changed that whole team. And it was not a fun time for us. Because I know I went to bed crying.
there was a similar moment in our scrim, and that scrim I was talking about where I think it was after game 1, our jungler, great dude, he was like, hey, and he was talking to me and Godlike Turtwig because we were struggling in our solo lanes. Like our bot lane was holding their own, but we were not having a good time. And I remember after the game, he was like, "Hey, what can I do to make it so that you guys go like, what help do you need in your lanes to make sure things go well?" And God bless Kiko, our support, who was like, "Hey man, it's not you. These guys are like 400, like 600, 800 elo above us. That's just life. Sometimes you're gonna lose a lane. That's how it goes." And that's been one of this team is a lot of fun. That's been one of the things where I'm just like it's sometimes it feels like we're absolutely just fucking around and having a good time, and it's definitely feels like one of those seasons.
Nice, nice.
Rule number 1 of jungle: if your lanes complain, you just ignore them. Then they quit complaining.
Yeah, then they learn. Yeah, they learn. You know, if they learn that they're not being heard, they're like, okay, well, let me save my breath. Oh,
I just go, okay, that sounds good. It's not happening.
Our jungler just mutes everybody before the game starts. Throws on the music.
Turns on
Says
the
see you
music.
at 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's electric what's happening in these comms, man.
It really is. And I will say, our main support Quill, he is so positive. In our first week when we lost game 2, our team was really upset because of how we lost game 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Quill, before they came back to our BC with the coach and stuff, he talked them up so great. They didn't come in tilted or anything. Like, I mean, they know what they messed up, but they came in, they're like, we know what we messed up, but we know how we can fix it. And they were ready for game 3. And they just, when we watched game 3, they just stomped through game 3. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the best feeling too.
Yeah.
so I'm really proud of my team and how we're doing so far this season. And I'm actually proud for all our teams since we're all technically undefeated right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right.
I know some of y'all still have games to play this week.
Yep.
And
Me and Gingy both playing on Sunday.
And then I'm playing again Tuesday, I think. We're playing like
Ooh.
back-to-back banger.
yeah, I haven't got my week 3 match scheduled yet.
Week
against
3, haven't looked at that yet. We
Dude,
play Saturday for our week 2, so excited for that one.
Oh, so you guys play this week, so we'll give us something good to talk about for next time we get together. And
yeah, we need more commercial game streams so we can see more commercial teams. Or send me your VOD so I can make better commentary.
or just do what I do,
Or-
Gingy. Just add all the captains from commercial, and then
spectate their games.
just spectate their
Okay.
games.
Okay, I might have to do that so I actually
You're
can
on
like
something.
make like comments about them and
'Cause-
actually know what I'm talking about.
Because that's literally, we watched the Mimics game last week against Naughty Dogs. And I know we're planning on watching them this week against the Amphibians. And we watched Sunday night, we watched Waves play their match before they played us on Monday. So we knew what we could do to.
Back to back.
Yeah, they played back to back, and I don't know if that's what killed them or not, but.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I applaud any team that does like a game because I've done like scrim night, game night.
Yeah.
I've never done game night.
I try to stay away from game night. Dangerous,
especially if you lose game one. If you lose,
yeah, I was like, if you lose the first game, it's a bad,
bad time.
it's bad juju. Real bad.
100%.
Okay, so if everybody gets a friend request from me, Horan Bornix, that's just me trying to spectate your games.
He just wants to watch your game so he gets good content for you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I just had to throw that out there so Sammy got tilted about our name changes the day before the season started.
100%. I was so tilted.
Hey,
Snuck
our
it in
entire
there.
team is changing their names. I lost the group vote. Sorry.
Literally, that's what he sent me when I'm telling him he needs to get these players in to the LBLCS. And
Evil stuff, man.
I was like, so I was just like, I'm going to strangle you, but then I'm going to give you a shot of tequila afterwards. So.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. enough. Fair enough.
But
Given the concept of cream liqueur, I think he'd be cool with that. I think he'd be cool with that.
100%.
About that one.
So, anyone have any final comments they want to say about in groups, team stuff, or anything?
Prove us wrong.
Yeah, I want to be
I'll
proven
be
wrong.
happy to eat my words.
Yes, I cannot wait
And I'm
until
sure I will.
being proven wrong. Extremely excited for that.
100%. I can't wait to see if any of our power rankings drastically change over the course of this next 2 weeks until we meet again to record. And then
I'm very flippy floppy, so
I feel
expect
certain
mine
they
will
will.
change.
I
Yeah,
feel
expect
certain they will
mine to
change.
change a ridiculous amount. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right. Well, everyone, that was Denny's No Reservations commercial edition, and we're gonna be having a good time, and we'll be doing this probably every other week if that's what we all agree on. We'll talk about it after this, and we'll get enough commercial content out there so you guys have something to look forward to, and y'all can prove us wrong. That's what we want. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.